Kiara Frequency, and I want to just share this quick story with you guys of talking about how you don't judge your book by its cover, because you may never know what somebody might be going through, right? So I remember being on the bus and I saw this young lady. She had on like this blanket, she had on this hat, and she had like this big bag, and she was like eating food out of her bag, which is that small. But she stood out to me, and I just kept staring at her. Like, I wonder like what type of person she is. And I'm like one of them people who like wants to get to know you like in depth. And for some people, they share like information with me, and some people, they feel like it's weird on my behalf. But I just feel like if I get a piece of your life, or you tell me deep stuff about you, you have like a special place in my heart, and I will always remember you. So anybody that has ever shared like sacred stuff with me, it's like implanted in my heart, and I will forever like appreciate you and value you more. I think moral of that is I value you more when I know about your deep, or I know about your life in depth. Anyways, so I was curious about her, and I kept staring at her. I didn't know her, so I just didn't want to say like, hey, who are you? What are you like? What is your life about? I didn't want to say that. So ironically, she got off on the same stop as me, right? And so at this time, I had on a short sleeve shirt, and it was kind of cold because it was at night. So I'm like bundling up, and so I started off a conversation like, man, I wish I had a blanket like you. And she said, oh, yeah. And I was like, oh, are you like traveling here or whatever? And she was like, oh, yeah, I'm from Tennessee. I came here to visit my parents. I'm like, oh, nice. I say, like, what do you do? And she was like, oh, I'm actually in a transition of life. And a few seconds after she said that, she broke down and cried. She broke down and cried. She told me, she said that she was making a transition in her life. It was hard. And at that time in my life, I was going through stuff too. I was going through stuff. I was having mental issues. I was learning how to embrace love. I was learning how to accept me for who I am. So I was going through too. So at this given time, this total stranger, me and her cried together. And I say, under no circumstances do you give up. I say, you better keep on pushing. You better become your best self, okay? You are not out here alone. You are not alone. And me and this stranger just cried together because we were going through the same thing. I was making a transition. I have moved to a different state, and I was trying to understand where is life. And at that moment, it taught me that what I was going through was nothing. What I felt, I mean, it was something, but it's somebody that needed me. And I just feel like, and then I prayed with her, and I told her to trust God. And then she shared that it was hard for her to trust God. She was trying to live up to her parents' standards of her. And she was trying to try to figure things out, develop her own personality. And she was 33. And it just taught me that we are not out here alone. And if we never speak up or find the courage to speak to someone, you never know who you may be able to heal. Me speaking up was able to heal her. And even after that, we exchanged numbers, and we talk to this day. You hear me? You can transform somebody's life by just speaking. Speak up and say something like, the world needs you. That's why I always post these videos, because I think we underestimate how powerful we are. We underestimate how powerful our words can be. Me and her cried, and I told her, don't you give up. You better not throw in the towel. You better keep on moving. And after I got off the train, I got off before her, she texted me and was like, thank you for being obedient to God. And the moral of that is, God's trying to use everybody. He wants to speak through everybody, but if nobody ever take that courage to say something, how can he use you? Take courage and be used. And speak up. Speak up. That was an emotional experience for me. And everywhere I go now, I just speak. And it doesn't matter. It can be in the most awkward times or whatever. I really don't care. I just speak. If God lays something on my heart, I just do it. And sometimes I don't understand it, but I just do it because I feel like I'm a vessel. I know that I'm a vessel for God, and he can't come down here and speak. So he created humans to speak for him. So whatever way that I can be used by God, I just do it. I just do it. If I walk past somebody and I feel like they don't have the strength to go, can I pray for you? You know, and I'm not like, I don't have a church to go to, but there's a God on the inside of me that needs to come out. So I let him out. I let that God in me out daily. Anyways, more of this, don't judge a book by its cover, and step out and have courage, because you never know who life you may be able to change. Okay. Anyways, just be fantastic and be brave, have courage, and do what you gotta do. Okay, bye.